Another race in the 2021 Final Fantasy Randomizer Spring Tournament, brought to you by the Final Fantasy Randomizer community and the Randomania family of networks. This afternoon, we're coming at you with Pod P, the Peed Pod. We've got runners looking for their first win of the tournament here, both sitting at 0-1. On the right side of your screen, you have the self-proclaimed cyborg, Chadbert. And I'm likely to believe him get those claims given the fact that this is Chadbert's second race of not only the pod, but of the day, having raced a scant 12 hours ago. It was unfortunately a losing effort out against Cheesinator, but he's definitely looking to bounce back here. Chadbert, for your information here, is quite new to the Final Fantasy community, but is doing quite well. He finished 4th place overall in the 2020 Summer Duck Derby, was in 2020 Co-op as a member of the Big Brain Club, was in the 2020 Fall League as a member of the Center for Competitive Forfeiting in their 3rd place outing, and has also been a participant in the 2020 SG Live and Tournaments of Hope. On your left side of your screen, we have guardianmarcus, obviously a fan of both Reboot and Final Fantasy X with names like that. Marcus's first outing was unfortunately a losing effort against Rob Draven, but is absolutely looking to bounce back here. Marcus was a runner in the 2021 Winter Duck Derby, finishing in a very respectable 2nd place as runner-up to Dead Pulse. And he's got a real good soft spot in his heart here for Frostwolves, as Chadbert does for Eyes, specifically 3 of them if we find our B-side tiles here. Joining me in the booth today, I have DM Stewart in 1981. Stewart, how are you doing?
I'm doing okay, sir. So for our seed, let me pull that back up. On our seed, we've got our class. We've got the classes get 1 bonus and no penalties. Our bonuses for each of our classes. We've got Fighter gets +5 luck, Thief gets Fighter swords, Black Belt gets 20 vitality, Red Mage gets 20% hit, White Mage gets 10 agi, and Black Mage gets 20 strength.
Got some decent ones across there. A couple of me ain't gonna use, like the Black Mage strength, but you know, fighters that run better are always great. Black belts with more hit points, why not? And your thieves are actually somewhat better than being, you know, floor mops before promotion now.
And the Black Mage with 20 strength, if you get a Cat Claw after promotion, that can be a little bit more melee damage in a pinch.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's take a look at our parties here. guardianmarcus is running red black for his mages, is taking a black belt, but is also taking a thief. On the right side of your screen, we've got fighter black belt, black red. Very interesting. It's kind of like you're going to be doing a 50-50 here on, you know, I can find either a grind tile or take a walking grind and choose which of my melee to Dan, or take them both at decent strength.
Yeah.
You a fan of these parties? I mean, no. Oh, we're already off.
We're off. I'd usually run Fighter and Rainbow Mage, but we got Invis 2 in level 1 white.
Hey, we got a sweeper. And oh wow, we got loaded level 1 magic. We got lit 3, we got temper, we got zap.
That's an awful nice set of magic for level 1.
Oh yeah, definitely getting the good end of the stick for bringing black red here. Didn't see a lot interesting in the level 1 armor shop. Unfortunately, looks like your cat claws rolled -1, but it is what it is.
It's still a decent melee weapon that the black wizard can use.
Chadbert on the way up to Topher already.
I always think in terms of that because I've had times where I've needed it.
Chadbert's gonna open some boxes. We're looking for some money, but we just find a house. More camping equipment for the stuff we just used.
Oh, house isn't a bad find early. 2,500 and 850.
About 3,500. That's gonna be enough to get you through your level 2 magic at least. Chadbert, having done that reset just outside, it manages to avoid any encounters in here, getting all the chests, and we're gonna lit 3 and lit 3 twice, and that'll be the end of Garland. The Grimps are just gonna waste our time with slow. Oh, but we have the real boss of the first dive of Temple of Fiends. It is a goal, and it's gone. Sarah just likes hanging out with the undead. What can you say?
And a loot from the king. And a bottle from Sarah.
I mean, if I got kidnapped, I'd go on a bender too.
So we have free canoe and free bridge.
Yep. Unfortunately, with no fetch quests, this is and just needing some more magic, especially see if we can get some help in the white department. We're probably going to be headed up and over the bridge, and probably over toward Provoca. We'll have to see if either of our runners stop by Matoya. With the free canoe, it's a little more of a 50-50 that I feel like than it would be otherwise. Only because you don't have to walk up and around the river, you can cut straight across, and it doesn't take very long.
And
Guardian...
Marcus is not. Marcus is heading straight for Provoca.
Yeah, absolutely. Straight for Provoca. You get yourself another key item. Gonna check your level 2 magics. You're gonna check another item shop. Just get all the information you can here in the first 10 minutes of the game. Alright, so we're gonna get a look at level 2 white.
Level 2 white's gonna have harm 3 and heal 3, so that's not bad.
Yeah, absolutely. With no fire spells as of... I stand corrected.
Fire 3 and... Fire 3, Ice 3, and Quad X.
Yeah, that's a loaded level 2. I feel like you take all 3, of course, for your black, and then you take probably... Now, here's the thing. Do you take Fire 3, Ice 3, and Heal 3, or do you take Quad X, one of the elementals, and Heal 3?
I take Fire 3, Ice 3, Heal 3. Because Quad X has a little bit of... may or may not work. Your elemental sweepers will always work.
Yes, alright. So, our other of the level 3 spells that was at level 1, Lit 3, taking care of some pirates pretty quickly. We'll have to see what Vicky was going to bring us today.
Adamant.
Oh, Vicky's got the adamant. We're going to go back around the world to the left. I do not feel... I mean, we might be able to go down to Crescent and get the free item there, but with no exit, no warp, Ice is going to be a very disincentivized play right now.
Yeah, I would not play Ice at this point. Speaking of incentives, we should mention where the incentives are.
Oh, absolutely. So, if you have not caught one of these spring tournament races so far, all the incentive dungeons that we have today is we have your last 2 Fiend dungeons, so Water and Sky, so Sea, Shrine, and Sky, as well as most of your normal fetch locations. Martian's incentivized, Ice is incentivized. Ordeals is incentivized, so is Waterfall. Titan's Trove is not. Marsh Locked is not. Corneria Locked is. However, inside the dungeons that the items are in, the chest that the item will be found in is randomized. So we're going to have to be digging boxes, which is why I feel that one of the few things that actually makes Fighter stand up to Black Belt in these flags is the fact that you're going to be opening boxes for incentives anyway.
Yeah, you're going to be opening a ton of incentive boxes. Or a ton of boxes trying to find incentives, I should say. And Marcus finds the items that are in Matoya's cave and nopes back out.
Yeah, just some chump change there. We won't want any of that. Maybe the 2 boxes here in Dwarves will play better. But the most important item on the table here, will Marcus talk to the Hooray Dwarf? Oh, that's money.
33K. There's some change.
Hey!
Hooray!
Man of the people, giving us the hooray. And gets rewarded by having to go back to Matoya.
Oh, boy.
But at least with a 33K, if you find a cheap shop item, you're in pretty good shape. And you can go all the way down here to Elfland and pick up your 3s and 4s without needing to run out of money.
Yeah, I was going to say, it looks like what he's doing is... No, he's not.
No, he was thinking about it, but he decides that, no, I want to turn in this incentive. If best case scenario, it's a floater. Second best case scenario, it's a ship, and at least you have some inner-sea travel pretty quick. Chadbert also giving us the hooray. Good on him. Alright, so both of our runners... Oh, Chadbert is actually going to head south here.
I don't dislike that play.
You've got the sweepers early enough. Chadbert is just going to completely ignore everything that I was trying to say there and head right to Elfland. At least he's going to get his 3s and 4s here.
Yeah, I don't dislike this play because you can get a decent early grind there in the field to the east of Elfland that can make that early marsh dive a lot more survivable.
And if there's a floater in the item shop here and it's cheap enough, you can get an absolute coup. And
Yeah,
unfortunately,
and
Matoya just given us a chime, so our progression is either going to be in Crescent, Ice, an item shop, or in Marsh.
We get level 3 nuke.
Oh, yeah, so, yeah, magic on the black side of things is just absolutely ridiculous.
And level 3 harm 4.
I mean,
But is that in a slot they can't get to? I never remember which slots they
slot
can.
1 is red mage. Let's see what level 4 white hold.
We have Fade.
We have Wall.
And Marcus is headed south. Is he going to head to Elfland, or is he's headed to Elfland?
I don't blame him here. Look for some more spells if you're going to be diving either of these dungeons.
And I missed level 4 black.
It was pretty lackluster. I believe Saber, and you're gonna have Saber. You're gonna have Bane. That's about it.
Well, granted, compared to what we've seen thus far out of black magic shops, level 4 almost has to be lackluster.
Yeah, Fast is definitely our one last big outstanding black magic spell. White magic, we have not seen almost anything besides Heal 3 and the Curative or Restorative, and we haven't seen a single life spell.
And cheap pro rings, 37,000 or 3,700.
Yeah,
it's -2, but it's still a pro ring.
Yeah, pro rings are one of those things where they roll up. You love the extra defense, but they're there for the protection. They're not there for. They're there to keep you safe from things getting casted at you, not to keep you safe from getting punched.
And no shop item yet.
Chadbert picking up a couple of swords here. Just vanilla short swords, not the worst thing in the world, but if you're going to be diving dungeons, and it looks like we're going back up to Marsh here.
Well, it's Marsh or it's Crescent or it's Marsh, it's Crescent or it's Ice.
Yeah, I can't blame you because even if this is not the floater or something like that, you don't want to have to double back here if you don't have an airship. Because it just feels bad to have to walk back here from Crescent. So might as well do a proximity check and get it out of the way. So most runners with the randomized boxes have been favoring doing top first. And I can't blame them. I know I personally do. First box only got about 800 gold, but we got 3 more boxes up here.
Yeah, and even without randomized boxes, I still do top first. But I usually have 3 or 4 loose items. How many loose items do we have in this seed?
We do not have any. There are no looses. We have all incentives, plus the power bonk and the white shirt are going to be in our incentive pools. And unfortunately, it's just money up top. We're going to reset and head down.
Always hated Marsh Cave.
Yeah, we've had this conversation. I've even personally had this conversation on commentary here in the last couple of days. The problem with Marsh is very similar to the problem with Earth. There's such a diverse amount of enemies in here. Something rolled something nasty. It's almost just pure odds it's going to happen.
You can guarantee that something in here has. Oh, the traditional empty boxes, are they still empty in?
Well, all the traditional link boxes are still in place, so what you're going to see is much what Chadbert and Marcus are both doing here. They're going to come south and check the single one, and then they'll go over to the right and check these 2 boxes, and then go down and check the vanilla incentive, and we have a canal. We have a canal but no ship. That is not what you wanted to see. Guardian's gonna... Oh my lord. Yeah, this is we sit here for a while. Pulling it out might be a little bit of a concern, but if you've got the heal potions, I sit on this for at least 12, maybe 15. If you could get turn order. Oh yeah, what was that? A 72?
Oh.
A 72 killed a Gurmadusa? So yeah, this is the tile. this is the way.
Here's your grind tile.
Yeah, this is. I love what I love doing in this flag set is I take an early. If I find a grind like this or a grind tile like this, I take the early grind. I will go to 15 to 17 if I have the charges and the ability to escape, just to be safe for the rest of the seed. Now, in Chadbert's scenario here, we Dan the black belt, we only have to go to about 25 across the board, or we Dan the rest of the party and send the black belt to 32 or 42.
I think with the Gray Medusa tile, yeah, you go up to about 15. You get them up to about 50. You get everyone up to about 15. I don't know. I don't know if I.
Yeah, unfortunately, the only thing that could have made this better is if we had found a mage stick and we could just do the black belt grind right here. That would be the dream scenario, is if we had the mage stick already. But unfortunately, we haven't found a mage stick. We haven't found a Thor hammer.
Yeah, or a Zeus gauntlet.
Alright, so Chadbert looked to be up to about, 13 across the board here. Marcus re-diving had unfortunately not gotten the turn order out and had lost his party before getting that Blitz 3 off. We'll have to see if he decides that he's going to take the grind again, or if he's just going to grab the canal and leave.
$14 across the board for Chadbert.
Alright, he's happy on 14. I can't fault him for that. That's going to get you level 4 charges even on the red mage. Marcus is playing it safe. We've grabbed the canal, we're leaving. We know the tile's here if we want to come back to it. This has changed my priorities a little bit. You absolutely want to find your way out of the inner sea. We have the canal, we're now looking for the ship or the floater. We have 2 more incentive locations. I think I go to Crescent here, and then I actually stop by Volcano and at least check the armory, just to check the boxes. Because now we're in a scenario where if we find a casting sweeper, we have a black belt grind that we can take all the way up.
I think I agree with that. I agree with that plan. Now you Dan the rest of the party, and you get the black belt. You get the black belt grind. Once you get the black belt up to 42, I assume you bring the rest of the party back and grind them up a little?
Kind of. Every good party needs meat shields. I mean, you'll basically just... The bosses aren't going to be a concern. They're just going to turn into a fine red mist.
Well, yeah, with black belt at 42.
Yeah, especially with the plus vitality on the black belt, they will... If you go to 42, they will be on maximum hit points. You will see 999 on your black belt.
And that is a beautiful sight.
Yeah, that's the point where the fiends can throw about anything they want at you. It's just inevitability at that point. I mean, you grind a black belt to 42 in this seed. Chadbert might think he's a cyborg, but the black belt would be the Terminator.
Have you seen this boy?
Have you seen this fiend? Alright, so we're still checking shops here. We got
silver bracelets.
3s.
Plus 3.
God, those are cheap. That's sexy.
And silver armor plus 4. That's just beautiful.
Yeah, that is we've got decent protection here regardless of how they rolled. We're still checking these item shops. You never know. Oh, like for that silver force sword for 900 gold.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
So yeah, we can swing now. We can swing hard. I think
I saw Ruse and
white.
Fog 2. Fast at 6 black.
Fast at 6 black, having already taken a grind to 15, you feel in a pretty good state, because you do have one person that might have... black mages might have 1 charge. And there's our ship, so we have our escape of the inner sea. So now do you just say deuces to the inner sea and head out maybe to Ordeals, or do you actually go up to some place like maybe Volcano here, maybe Ice if you're brave?
I think I dive Ice. I think I dive ice to get the.
Fair enough. I mean, anyone can be the right play here. Chad probably doing what I would have done more, which is we're going to go ahead and head out here. We're gonna just piece out the inner sea. I believe he still hasn't turned in that crystal, actually. Has Chadbert. So Chadbert's finally going to get that crystal out of the way and get his chime.
Okay, yeah, that's what he's... Yeah, he's going to go for that chime.
Yeah.
I think I still go after ice because I don't want to come back down here if ice is the floater.
Yeah, that's the downside. If the ice is if ice has a vanilla floater, you're in fading ice here is not going to feel good. Well, but in any other scenario, it could be. Now, the problem is that having both the ship and the canal, which is one of those things where you want to find that early floater because that leaves two incentives that you no longer need to look for in the inner sea, and maybe they're going to be in both marsh and ice, and you're just going to feel awesome about it. But it's going to, unless it's the power bunker, unless it's the white shirt, we're going ice sometime.
Do we have northern docks?
We absolutely do have northern docks. We have both the Ruicon and the Honorak docks. So they do have accessibility to Mirage. They do not quite have accessibility to Sea Shrine due to no Oxyale, but we can go to Waterfall. And Waterfall is also over near two shops with the Caravan and Honorak. Could find a vendor item.
Yeah. We could get Mirage, and that second floor. Is it the second floor that has all the chests in Mirage?
Yeah, you got a good... There's like 7 or 8 on the first floor, and there's 10 on the second in the greater than less than room. So there's always a chance that it could be in Mirage, but the thing about Mirage and Sky is they're both packed. I mean, you've got like 20-some chests up in Sky, you've got close to 20 down in Mirage.
Yeah, I mean... The play could be to go to Mirage.
I love forced double dip. I love that you go to Mirage and you get a floater and then the cubes like from the bottle, and the runners just start pulling their hair out.
Okay.
So Marcus is headed toward ice.
Nothing out of level 5. I mean, heal 2. That was about it.
Yeah, that's bad news because that means both of our life spells are 7 or 8, which means we're not going to be doing anything with them.
I don't
at least
dislike
promo.
Oh, do we have warp? Have we found warp yet?
I do not believe we have found warp. I don't even think we found exit.
No, exit was we found exit at 6.
Ah, true. Yeah, so we quote unquote have exit. We know where it's at. Castability is a completely different story.
But we have not found warp yet.
So Chadbert taking what I do here. We're gonna check 3 grind tiles. We're gonna check 9 chests, 10 chests, and we're gonna find us out what's in ordeals.
I don't dislike either of these plays.
Yeah, especially
they're both perfectly reasonable plays.
Oh, absolutely. Especially with Chadbert already having levels under him. This is just going to be a really quick check here. We find Frost Giants. That's not what we want to see. First trap tile is... Oh, no. That's a run. Get away, get away, get away. I have nightmares to sorcerers right now. Oh, wow. Pillar 1. That's amazing. Alright, our second trap tile check. Mana cores ain't terrible.
Ice has that same kind of and we got fighter. We got the elf-looking fighter on the trap tile there.
In theory, you could take this trap tile. My concern is pulling it out.
Flame armor +1.
Our fighters just keep getting decked to the 9s. We, quote-unquote, accidentally step back on the mana core tile because we love experience.
Yeah. I mean, it's not the EXPs, but mana core's that's a good experience tile.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we have a tail in the bottom of Yeah, we got a tail in the bottom of ice. For Marcus specific, I mean, for Marcus especially, actually, that's great. My apologies. Chadbert, that could be 50-50, depending if we decide to go black belt or not.
Dragon armor -2.
Yeah, but it's just the elemental resistance on the dragon armor.
Yeah, I don't. And with floater in ordeals.
Galaxy Brain play by Chadbert, and it absolutely pays off here. And a wizard stick if we wanted to be cheeky against carry 1.
Why wouldn't you?
True. And
Ooh,
less than
goyle.
Yeah, less than ideal on the last trap tile, but you know we're ground up pretty high. We should be able to get away no problem.
And we're gonna nuke him.
Why not? Marcus having a little trouble getting away from some of his frosty friends.
Power staff +5, which we had mage stick.
That's huge. We pulled a mage stick out. It's not going to do the work that a Zeus or a Thor would do, but it's absolutely good enough if you want to, do some solo grinds.
It's absolutely good enough for that Gurmedusa tile.
Mm-hmm. So Marcus is going to go ahead. We're already up to the top.
And we get a light axe. We get a light axe +5.
Yeah. It's a weapon, and it's also usable where you can just use that to. It's actually good, as we just saw, because of the fighter weaponry on the.
Because of fighter.
On the thief. Yeah, the thief is going to be wielding that light axe +5, so that's a good bit of attack damage early. Alright, so Chad's in the air, about 20, we'll call it 23-20. Gonna bypass the ruby here, get the Sarda item, probably turn in his bottle afterwards. Marcus gonna head over and finally escape the inner sea. Chadbert got a key. That's huge. That's another required item for the end of the game. And we can go check immediately another incentive in Corneria.
And it looks like Chadbert's going over to do that.
I mean,
we can check 3 more grind tiles too.
Yeah, we checked 2 more trap tiles in here, 3 free chests. Looks like we're gonna make a quick stop here. I would have probably went to Corneria first. If it's the crown, it's kind of feels bad, but you're still gonna be fine. All right, what we got? Junk, ice shield, ribbon. Astos has got the goods in the closet today. Let's see what kind of friends are here. Regular wolves, not fun, not what you want.
Saber tiger and a tiger.
And also a little on the lackluster side. Alright, so now we're going to get our incentive out of Corneria. Marcus is going to be heading down here. Probably going to go ordeals, probably going to get the floater here. It's going to be in real good shape once we find that.
Now, do you check if you're right here with the key and we get an herb? If you're right here with the key and the airship, do you go and check and we get an opal gauntlet, which Chadbert could use if he promotes.
Yeah.
Do you check the 6 chests, keylock chests in Dwarf Cave, or do you wait until you get TNT?
You wait till you get TNT. Thankfully, you got the herb here, so these 4, I figure Chad might actually check these 4 boxes. Gets the crown, so sure enough, we're going back to Astos. Chadbert proving me wrong, we're not going to go check those 4 freebies in Elflin Castle, even though we were already there. I hope it was your mass immune and it comes back to bite you. No offense. But we are going to go ahead and get Astos here, get what the item is. Every item's 5% experience for every key item. And it's going to probably be something we need. Alright, so we're swinging. We do some damage. We're going to quad X, and down goes Astos.
TNT.
Now I check those 8 chests.
With no loose items, I don't know if I check those 4 chests.
I mean, you're already there. It's not that far out of the way, and you've got a fighter. If you've got a fighter, you check the chest, in my opinion, because you never know when it's going to be something that you need.
And there's a cube.
All right. Chadbert is 1 item away from being able to finish the seed. We need an Oxyale.
2. We need a rod.
Oh, yeah, we need a rod, too. But we do have Sky available to us completely. We've got Waterfall, and we're still short a vendor item, and we have not turned in the bottle yet.
And the Hooray Dwarf again.
Yeah, I mean, if you're in there twice, you might as well.
Because give the people what they want.
Absolutely. Chad doing a quick once-over in his brain. Where are we headed from here? Looks like... Is it the ice play?
Like ice.
It's the ice play.
That's a good play, I think.
Yeah, it's proximity routing. As much as you want to be able to fade ice, you know that it's not going to be a dud incentive, and even if it is a quote-unquote dud item, they are both very useful. Guardianmarcus finally picking up his floater here is going to be glad to see that, just needs to get out of here with it. Sorcerer's got Gaze, not a problem. We've got 4 Light Warriors, there's only 2 of them.
We still hate sorcerers, though.
Yeah.
They always... Somehow sorcerers always roll something nasty.
Like Vanilla Death Touch when you're on Sky after Tia 2.
Ugh. Yuck.
Alright, so Marcus has got his floater, he's back on his ship. We're going to go up and dock at the inlet right next to the Rukin Desert.
Wraith,
And...
there's another one that always seems to roll something nasty.
Yeah, thankfully we got the Fire 3 off first, and they're not going to... Oh, no, we only killed the Final Fantasy 1 special. You throw out the spell, it leaves 1 enemy, and the next Flight Warrior runs away.
And we get a Nacho on that trap tile.
And Nachos are somewhat serviceable, but I mean, you've got better trap tiles that you know of.
Yeah, we know we've got that several Gurmadusa trap tile that's just awesome. We've got the fighter trap tile. Looks like Chadbert's gonna hit that one.
Oh yeah, you're at least gonna see how chonky they are. Gonna pull his tail out. We're gonna see. Chad looks like he's gonna continue to he's either gonna take a grind here, or he's gonna actually want to pull that out. Meaning we're probably committed to some fighter strat. So Marcus is gonna give us our first look at Gaia here. Warp's level 7 black. That's slightly unfortunate.
And he's not even checking the level 7 white here. I don't know if it's even usable by a red mage.
Yeah, I don't even know if it's usable by a red wizard.
Red wizard.
The steel armor did roll up, but we do have some other things as well. The rod for sale, and it's pretty cheap at 12,000. Alright, so what do you feel here? Do you go waterfall, or do you do the full clear of sky for the incentive?
I think it's going to depend on it's going to depend on a couple things. It's going to depend on what I get from the bottle.
Never mind. So, herein at about 30 minutes, we now have no mode on all of our items. So, now you have not a lot left. You've got 3 incentive locations left. One of them is going to probably be the Ruby, and the other 2 are going to be quest chains that lead to the Bonk and the White Shirt. Marcus, unfortunately, not quite stopped by Sarda to run down the cube, is going to go ahead and dive Waterfall, which is still some chest. It's still an incentive item, which could give him some more experience in the later game, and it is another trap tile check.
The only thing that stinks about it is you don't have warp. You don't have warp to just get out.
Yeah. So Chadbert's still taking this grind. Took that grind up to 20. Cannot fault him for. We're danning the party. Okay. I believe this is the commitment to the black belt.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Yep. We're getting the BB up to the rest of their points here. We're gonna take the fighter up too. Interesting. We get us a slab out of waterfall.
I don't dislike that play. I don't dislike that play, because clearly the plan on that is going to be... Clearly, I say clearly, what do I know? But I believe the plan on that is going to be, we're gonna melee the piss out of everything.
Yeah, it's a little interesting doing a fighter and a black belt grind here, because your black belt's just not going to get high enough real quick, and for all intents and purposes, you still haven't found a supremely serviceable weapon for the fighter yet. You haven't found an ice, a sun, a vorpal, an X-Cal-ish, a massa.
I've never been a fan of the vorpal. I don't know why. It's just I've never had it. It's not really worked. I've never had it work as well as other people say it ought to.
The vorpal is a very hotly debated thing, even to this day within the community. It's all about number of swings and fishing for crits. It's all about the luck. If the vorpal rolls down, it can be a bad feeling. If the vorpal rolls up, it can be a very good feeling, because the already high crit rate just gets astronomical on that thing.
Okay, that makes sense. And Marcus is gonna go and do Onrak and probably C.
Can't fault him for it. You're already here. You just proximity route, get everything out of the way. See some really bad spells at level 7 black. I mean, you get lock 2, but you don't want to be... Level 7 lock 2 charges don't feel good. Alright, into C. What's our routing? We're going to check probably both the... Yeah, I would say... No, we're going to check right side. We're going mermaids full first. Here we go.
I think that's probably the right play. That's probably the way to go, is to check the full right side first, then check the full left side.
And ladies and gentlemen, when I say full right, I mean full right. We are going to completely clear the TFC floor before we go into mermaids proper. I'm running from Gersharks. I'd at least thrown out a lit 3 on those bad boys. We're 25 on our two melee beaters over here on Chadbert's side, farming these fighters.
Oh, I think I see what Chadbert's doing. He's doing a partial grind on the fighter.
And now now that he's got to like 25 or so, he's gonna damn the fighter, and he's gonna go to 32 or 42.
And just let the fighter get damned naturally, but get levels on him. Get levels on him until, and then the full black belt grind.
And it looks like that's what we're doing now. Marcus got one chest left that he can check. Because Marcus does not have the key, TFC will continue to be a question mark.
TFC?
That chest. It's the single chest in the middle of the room. Unfortunately, it's locked by the key, so you cannot get in there if you don't have it, which unfortunately Marcus does not.
And gold bracelet +4.
Hey.
That is an awful nice find.
Yeah, that is... You get a gold to roll up that far, and it doesn't matter what level. Hey, there's a sun.
We get a
sword.
sun. We get a sun -2. Not that that's going to be that useful for Marcus, but...
Procate +4, I'll take that. Alright, we just got the last 3 boxes here on mermaids. All right, Chadbert, continuing to decrease the fighter population here.
And nothing up to Mermaid.
Yeah, we get some nice armor finds, but unfortunately that's about it here. I mean, gold 4 pro ring and a pro cape +4. That's gonna make somebody really, really tanky.
I will be back in a moment.
So even on a -2, we definitely have, as pointed out, a wieldable weapon for our ninja here. Unfortunately, we're going to have to go back. I don't know if Marcus might want to go out and save this just in case something bad happens on the Kraken side, and then come back in, or if we're just going to head straight over to the Kraken side. And it looks like we're going straight into the Kraken side after we check the second chest on the C-split.
Sorry, the kitten was at the door wanting to come in, so...
Ah, no problem. And I haven't seen Chadbert. Last I saw, we were at 30. Got 2 fighters on this encounter. We're going to see... Have we hit the 32, and are we continuing?
I don't like not taking that single Gray Shark fight.
I mean, with your casters, a lit 3 will probably take him out here. We're 34. We're going all the way on Chad. So Chad's going all the way here, and we're just going to be pasting things with a black belt.
I like that. I like that strategy.
I mean, you don't have to do anything for the rest of the seed. Even without a good amount of fast casts, a 42 black belt's pretty much going to just paste everything in, usually in less than 3 shots.
The only thing that might give him some trouble is a chaos that rolls chonky.
Yeah, it would take an evasive Kraken, an evasive Tia, or an evasive Chaos to even cause any issues here. All right, still checking chest here. We have we've got an incentive ruby. And it's probably, I feel bad. No, we got some metal slimes. That's not a bad tile, especially with the mage stick. That just feels probably double bad for guardianmarcus here, only because guardianmarcus says, oh, the ruby, I can get to Sarda, which I could have got to anyway and haven't. Oh. Alright, more fighters down on Chadbert's side. We are 40, and as we were saying, so Chadbert's going to stop at 40. As assumed, it's pretty well assumed that he's going to pick up the rest of the experience before the refights that actually matter off of just everything else you have to kill along the way.
Yep. Did Chadbert get the incentive item out of ice yet?
Yes, it was the tail just behind that. Now, I'll be interested to see if Chadbert decides that they want to promote here or not, now that they've got the grind out of the way.
I think I probably would.
We'll have to see how it goes. So, gonna come up here. We're gonna check one chest. You might as well. I mean, that's like one step out of the way. And Marcus, brave Marcus here, is decided that the metal slimes are the way to go, and we are going to do a grind in C, which is always a sweating bullets moment for me. Trying to do any kind of a grind in C, because anything bad can happen on the way out. Alright, Chadbert resurrects the party, gonna stay at the end to get him back to full hit points, and we're gonna see where we're gonna go from here. We're gonna stock up on some more gear here. Grab us our potions.
Well, one of the reasons I say I would definitely do the promotion is that's going to give me potentially 3 extra Invis 2 casts and 3 Heal 3 casts.
From the night, yeah.
From the night.
You have the extra defenses up. Alright, so Chadbert is gonna stop by Gaia if he can find it, and is going to drop off his bottle for his vanilla oxale and know that he is with a 40 black belt and all of the required items is just going to be ready to just tear through the remainder of the seed. And as Chad pointed out, these slimes are a little on the chonky side, so if we dan everybody else off to the black belt here, it's gonna be a couple of mage staff casts, and the slimes can hit a little hard. Oh, did Chadbert not check the item shop in... I don't know if Chadbert checked the item shop in Gaia.
Oh, I don't know if he did.
Yeah.
He did not.
He didn't check the item shop in Gaia. Oh no. I hope he remembers. I think he just remembered. I didn't check the item shop, and he's gonna breathe an absolute sigh of relief when he goes back here. Great heads-up play by Chadbert on the short-term recollection.
That is the play, and that will put him into go mode.
Yeah, this will put him in. Then he goes in and he checks the item shop, and he breathes a sigh of relief, having checked every other item shop in the game, and realized, wait, I was just at where it was.
Well, he hadn't checked Caravan.
No, he had stopped by Caravan first.
Oh, he did?
Yep.
I missed it.
So, Chadbert saving up, we're going into the sky.
And Marcus is doing that slime tile. And Chadbert is skipping... Chadbert is skipping out on... Chadbert is skipping out on all the chests.
Oh yeah, we don't
Mirage.
want... We have no need for... Oh no. Please kill. Oh gosh. I don't like to see black belts on a knee against multiple enemies here.
Well, and a side question. You wouldn't go for white shirt or power bonk?
With the 42 black belt, you don't need it.
Okay.
I mean, a 42 black belt will absolutely just run everything over Ramshot here, especially figuring that his level 40 black belt's on 996 hit points.
And 4 wyverns in that trap tile.
Yeah, and one of them already ran.
Yeah.
I mean, the only chests I check are ones that are absolutely on the way. Free chest, at least the free chest and probably the other 2 freebies in Sharknado. I might check the free 4-pack on Sky 3. But other than that, no, I'm not checking almost anything. Maybe I check the one in Vampire's Closet as well.
Yeah, I think you definitely check the one in Vampire's Closet.
Yeah, it's 2 steps. You check the closet, but I don't think you check under the bed or behind the bed. Which is any of the chests on Earth 4. Alright, so we got guardianmarcus still wielding that mage staff, taking out all of these metal slimes here. 14,000 experience up to 27. Finally getting enough defense along with the smorgasbord of items with that gold 4 bracelet, keeping him safe, that he can just go ahead and just 2 turns. He has to endure 1 turn of attacks here and gets all that experience. Should probably be approaching the 42 point within about 7 or 8 fights.
Well, he's at 28. Got the black belt at 28 now.
Yeah, unfortunately, having not done that early grind on the gold reduces from wiping it out, didn't have that kickstart of being 15 for the early part of the seed, was down closer to 10. Alright, so Tia 2. Let's see if the fast... Oh, the fast went off. Oh, this is not good. Nuke goes out. Who cares? Swing goes out. Who cares? Black belt goes out. And that's over 1,000 damage and a pasty Tia 2. Tia 1, rather.
And that is our first orb lit for Chadbert.
Yeah, that is our first orb lit here at about 46:20.
That just seems to me late to have a first orb.
It is late to have a first orb, but considering that our grind's completely out of the way, it's going to be one of those scenarios where our first orb lit is Tiamat at 46 minutes. Our next orb is lit like a minute or two later, and our next one a minute or two later after that. All 4 orbs lit at like 51 minutes is probably what we're about to see.
This is a valid point. And Chadbert is skipping everything and going straight to Tiamat, or to Kraken.
Oh yeah, like I said, at best, you get 3 checks in the free chest. They're considered free because they're right off the path. The bottommost chest in the Sharknado room proper is absolutely free because you step in the tile in front of the door anyway, and the bottom tiles along the wall in the room do not count toward encounters. So there's absolutely nothing but a couple of seconds lost grabbing that chest. That's the only one I expect them to check. Maybe the 2 on the left-hand side of the room. Oh no, we're actually going to check the 2 in the peanut room here on the way out.
I never liked the lobster fight. Never liked that lobster pack.
The problem with lobsters is they actually have very high physical, and they come in packs of like 7 or 8.
But Chadbert makes quick work of them, and the black belt is 41.
Yep. We are off the grind tile. Marcus is checking chests. That was a Bane sword. So, not the worst freebie in the world. And is not going to check any of the other chests. Is going to take this solo black belt down here and fight this Kraken. Sure enough, Chadbert getting his freebie. Going to check the other 2 as well. Some money. And was that a katana -5?
Yes, it was.
Well, so much for the thieves. If you want to chuck something out of sky, there's something you can chuck out of sky. Katana -5. Alright, Chadbert dealing with this party pack, the seafood pack here. Marcus coming around through the last room here right before Kraken. We're going to have pretty much a high 5 here, and it's going to be roughly the same way. Marcus just is going to hit a little less hard.
Yeah, but Marcus is gonna give Kraken a high 5 right to his face.
Exactly. 772, so Marcus is probably in the 32-33 range. Punched in the face, that was some damage. Gets punched back really hard, actually. That was only like 200 damage. This is bad. Woo! Meanwhile, Chadbert's side, I blinked and I missed it, but Kraken's gone.
That was 1 round. I don't think Kraken even got a turn.
Yeah, Marcus giving us a little bit of a heart attack here. Almost lost that entire grind if would have got bad turn order against Kraken there and it was swung again.
That would have felt real bad.
Chadbert going to Earth first, not giving the people what they want, the true RBO run. No reverse boss order in full here. We're going to go Earth before Volcano. Alright, so Marcus with a good grind off, and with a first orb lit here, I'd still feel in really good shape here. I mean, you've got an orb lit, it is Kraken, you've got a grind, it's only 50 minutes in. It's just the unfortunateness of not having checked Sarda yet. Which is, I believe, exactly where we're going to go. No, we're going to translate that slab first. So the slab here is going to lead to one of our 2 incentivized items instead of actually like key items. Is it going to be either the power bonk or the white shirt?
And he's going up to turn that in. I don't blame him. It's not really a bad play because then go and do Sky.
Yeah, you're right up here. You'll be able to go to Sky immediately afterwards. It's a decent proximity route. I just feel bad because we haven't gone to Sarda. We were just just there too. We were over in Melmond. It was just a jaunt away. And it would have been another fetch quest, yes, but that's a fetch quest that does lead you to the last thing you're missing, being the key.
I thought Sarda was just the key straight out.
Well, yeah. I mean, technically that leads you to the key. Oh, white shirt.
I mean, I never object to getting the white shirt, so.
No, it's definitely a great item to have here.
Especially with how beefy Kraken 1 was for damage.
Oh yeah, Kraken 1 did hit back. Like, Marcus took a couple of 200 pluses, and one more melee might have done the trick in a very bad way. So it's Lich up, here comes the punch. I think that was like 850 and bye-bye. Yeah,
Yep.
that's even above the max that boss can roll. I think the max on Lich 1's like 600 at 150% scaling. I think it's 400 base. Yeah, it's ridiculously low.
It's 400 base. I know it's 400 base.
So yeah, 600 hit points. We did 800. Who cares if anybody else even did anything?
The Red Mage did like 150.
Yeah, at this point, it's not the Light Warriors. It's Black Belt and Friends. Everybody else has just been relegated to and Friends. We don't care about encounters. Who cares about stepping on the right tiles? We're just running through.
It's Black Belt and the Pips. Although Marcus is checking our chests there in Sky. I wonder, did Marcus forget that he hadn't done Sarda?
Well, he's leaving. He might have just remembered. He was checking chests because there is still an incentive that we have no clue what it is. Well, we do have a clue what it is. It's the power bonk.
It's power bonk.
But Marcus has just picked up and realized it and is going to get this key. And the key is going to lead him into the cube. Because Marcus was going into Sky without the cube, hoping that it was in Mirage, but then has finally, thankfully, realized their error here and has corrected it, and will still be making amazing time through this. Oh, Shadow corrected me. We actually pulled the power bonk out, so yeah, we actually pulled the power bonk out of Mirage 1 already. Alright, so carry. That's 200 damage from the fighter.
And 1100 from the Black Belt.
Yeah, that's 1100 from the Black Belt. Small disparity. Small discrepancy, not a big deal. 4 fiends down. We've only got 3 fights to go. And the Chaos himself.
And Chadbert not bothering with promotion.
Who needs it? Who needs things like promotions and safety and armor and healing item? I've got a Black Belt. Oh my! The third eye grind is in Topher. This is Chadbert's favorite encounter in the game. Is the 3-eye grind.
Uh-oh.
Right.
I wonder why he's actually doing the grind.
Probably wants to get a couple of levels on a couple of these other Light Warriors. Just get up a couple of extra steps. It's for survivability purposes. Marcus, on the meanwhile, took their key, went and pulled an herb out of the Corneria treasury, turned the herb in for the crown, and then we'll be able to turn the crown in.
And Chadbert is on the top floor of Topher.
He wasn't actually 42 proper on that Black Belt. He wanted to get the 42 proper before he got down here. We wanted to see the big numbers. We wanted to see him on Lich 2, not after Lich 2. Chadbert, a man of the people, knows that viewers love big numbers.
Well, viewers dig the long ball.
Oh yeah. Alright, we got the TNT. This is the last part of the fetch quest. We just need to go turn this in, and then Marcus will be in go mode. Is thankfully going to come back here and check the closet of Astos. He's going to pull out a ribbon for his troubles.
Yeah, that's... Never object to a ribbon.
Single piece of paste, 1,436 damage to the worm.
Well, now, dang it, Chadbert, you're supposed to walk without rhythm. That way you won't attract the worm. There's that green Medusa. Chadbert on Earth floor.
Yeah, on Earth floor. Yeah, as pointed out in chat, short of literally waiting on the fiends intentionally on the black belt, I don't think it's I don't know if there's any way that the black belt can die. All right, Marcus loots some the dwarven armor treasury after getting his cube. There is a dead lich that was on the right side of your screen there for a moment.
Yeah, that lich didn't last very long, and Chadbert's onto fire floor.
Oh, no encounters either. This is nice. Yeah, it's a dead lich. Undead lich? Re-dead lich?
Re-dead, I think.
Alright, nuke goes out. 200 damage. Nuke goes out. 193 damage. Punch goes out. Counter punch comes out. 700 damage, dead carry.
I mean, that wasn't bad damage from carry.
Yeah, I mean, carry actually hit kind of hard there.
On a fully tricked out black belt.
Yeah. Alright, Kraken 2 floor. Here we go. We're gonna have some seafood we're gonna run into, maybe a couple party platters, and then we got the calamari himself. Oh, and some water packs. Some toxic water packs.
Toxic.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
I mean, you know, because of the way that black belt scaling works, they get 4 MDef per level. At a 42 black belt, they may as well be wearing like 3 or 4 ribbons simultaneously. So the toxic's not going to hit them, except, you know, less than a 1% chance here. Oh, we're going to full buff. Oh, the fast goes off.
That was 10 for 400 on the fighter.
Yeah.
From Kraken.
10 for 400. How about the black belt's reply? 1,603.
Allow me to retort, as Samuel L. Jackson would say.
Absolutely. So Chadbert onto air floor. Marcus coming through Vampire, going down. They've only got 2 floors to go, and they'll be on Lich 1 for their second Orb Light.
Ice 2 does not a lot.
Ice 2 does Ice 2 things. 720, Tia stands up to the punch. I think Tia's the first thing to stand up to a black belt punch. The fast, unfortunately, goes off out of order. I don't believe Tia will stand up to the second. Here's the second punch. 1,601.
19 hits for 1,601.
Chaos, if we walk in this room and Chaos is just straight dipped and is not even there, I wouldn't have been surprised.
Yeah.
Okay, 2 talking, 1 more. We're going to hide the black belt just in case. And here we go. Okay. We're going to get the fast off. We're going to get the temper off. We're going to swing on the fighter. Negligible damage. Invis 2 goes out. Lit 3 comes out. Decent reply, but not going to be nearly enough. The fast goes out prior to the punch. The punch goes out for 800 damage.
Not even. 617.
Oh, wow. Yeah, 600 damage. My apologies. I think we got a little bit of evasiveness here because I think that was only like 8 hits.
Yeah, that was about 8 hits.
Fire 3. We're just running through the elements here. Marcus, meanwhile, has already blinked and you missed it, and you missed the Lich 1 kill. Is going to be down to carry here, probably just after the end of this Chaos fight.
9 for 742 from Chadbert.
Yeah, so Chaos got the dancing shoes on.
There we go.
Unfortunately,
10 for 1500.
and that is it. That is GG's to Chadbert, finishing with a racetime.gg of 1 hour, 1 minute, and 28 seconds.
That is an impressive time. Chadbert, a winner is you.
So we're going to see if Chad wants to come in and do a little bit of an interview here while we're watching Guardian Marcus coming up to their Carry 2 fight.
Carry
1. Sorry, I was in refight mode thanks to the other side of the screen here. But Carry 1, we're going to nuke.
For 150.
Unfortunately, yeah, Carry's got them high MDefs. Unfortunately, high MDefs does not equal high punch def.
And Chad is in our waiting room. Welcome, Chadbert. GG, congratulations.
Thank you, GG. That was a very, very impressive.
Yeah, that was a very impressive time. So how'd you feel about that?
I felt very good the whole time. I was a little sad and nice when I got the tail, but then I found the 2 fighter grind. I'm like, I think I can do this very well with the black belt and see if I can get it. I was a little scared to get out, but it worked.
Yeah, it's always a little bit of not a great feeling if you have to pull it out, grind from a deep location like that. And both you and Marcus have had to do that. You took the fighters. He took metal slimes on the Sharknado floor and then went out through Kraken with a solo black belt. It was a time. But yeah, the items played out pretty well for you here. I mean, you were able to avoid ice early. You found a nice early grind in the Gurmaduses in Marsh in order to give you some nice early levels. What do you think about that?
I loved that. I had lightning 3 for days, and so I was just like, let me get up to about 15 and then get out, and it worked. And so I didn't have to worry about any of the dungeons after that, really.
Unfortunately for Marcus, he tried to take that same grind and got turn ordered.
Yeah, if it'd been the first 2 fights, it got turn ordered, then it would have been really bad.
Yeah, it's just a little bit of that luck there.
He got turn ordered on the first one.
All right, but Marcus still doing pretty well here. We're up onto Sky 2 here, finding that single eye. Unfortunately, until before we went to Topher, we happened to find that third eye on the Topher lock. Kind of one of those things where you kind of just slap yourself in the head. It's like, oh, I wish I would have found this earlier, but it's not a big deal.
It turned out to not be a big deal, but that could have been a turning point if Guardian Marcus had found that first. Then that would have been a big deal.
Yeah, unfortunately, Guardian Marcus has decided to fade Sarda for a while and just check them for the go mode right there at the very end after pulling the power bonk out of Mirage 1 and having already pulled the white shirt and having pulled the white shirt out of Lefane as well. So still going through pretty well here, and this is still going to be a solid time. I mean, we're going to have a 4th orb lit at probably an hour 6 here for him and then be heading into Topher. So tell me about the party comp, going with the black belt and the fighter.
Yeah, so usually I like to do the party comp that Guardian Marcus is doing, but the fighter had extra luck, and so I was like, you know what, it'll be about the same running capability, and I will be able to, equip better gear. So I was like, I'll just do that, and I was able to put him up in front for most of the early part of the race.
We've got a war chicken.
Yeah, we've got a robot emu. We also had an Excal sighting, and it rolled all the way up to +5. And we're gonna take the War Mech.
Ooh, 4 for 341, and it's got damage poison.
Yeah, we're gonna need some. We got the fast off now. We're gonna need some stronger hits than this, though. Lit 2 comes out. Is the red mage gonna make it? Nope.
10 for 496.
$174 off the nuke. Stop goes out. Everybody with the black belt's not doing anything. Doesn't matter. Fist Wizardry wins. And we're now on 35 on that black belt. So Chadbert, well, since we got you in here, this was your second race today, which I've got to give you giant props on having, doing technically 2 in the same day here. You've got 1 race left in the group. I believe it's going to be Rob Draven. How are you feeling right now?
Well, I feel that Guardian Marcus, Rob Draven, and I are all on similar level of capability. So, with second Warmack, I'll shut up for a second.
Yeah, we had a second Warmack, but he ran. Marcus ran from it.
Yeah, I don't blame him. Damage poison on the table there first. I just don't want to deal with that.
But yeah, this pod is I'd say this is a tough pod. It's not a pod of death, but it is a tough competitive pod. There's no wins in there. You're gonna have to fight through everything.
And a tough Tiamat 1 was tough as far as the physical defense. Actually took 2 punches.
Hey, 2 whole punches. That's impressive against a black belt of any level. All right, with that, Marcus has got 4 orbs lit. We're going to be doing toe for time. Marcus may actually, if Marcus decides to check that trap tile, it may get a benefit. Takes a few extra levels just for safety precautions. Since we're not on 42 on that black belt, and it gets the rest of the party a little bit of experience here.
Yeah, I caught the stream when you saw me going into there, so going into Topher for the first time and checking that tile, and I looked at the status screen and saw that I needed 6,000 experience to get to 42, and I'm like, if I don't take any fights in Topher, I just take the fiends, then I'll get to about the 42 on Tiamat or Chaos. So I just decided to check it to see if it was something that would get me close, and then I can get it before Kraken.
Oh yeah, we figured you wanted to just actually truly hit 42 there, be a man of the people and give us the big numbers. And sure enough, Marcus is going to check. Marcus is going to see these eyes. Going to be happy to see that. Again, eyes, because of the way that the randomizer works, eyes you normally have a spell script that is not fun and you don't like to deal with very often. But it is a thing where in randomizer they very often roll where they're doing nothing but punching, and they're very squishy. They can roll well under 150 hit points, and they just go down, and they're worth so much experience.
Yeah, they're worth tons of XP, and I will always take an eye grind.
Marcus says that we're comfortable though. We've got 35-ish on the black belt. Probably going to take a couple extra turns per fiend past, of course, the speed bump here. But it shouldn't be too bad. We didn't see anything really. Well, we didn't get to see anything on any of the fiends. 42 black belt made sure of that. But the only things we saw of chaos was a couple of level 3 elemental spells, which really isn't that bad.
It's not terrible. I mean, I've seen chaoses that start with nuclear and nuke, so.
True.
And I've seen chaoses that all they do is punch.
All right, Lich 1 floor. We're going to go up and around. Assuming we went off on the hard power cycle, we're going to run into a couple of encounters like the Gurmaduses here. And then after Lich 1, we should be on a pretty clear trek all through the fire floor to carry 2.
Yep, the green Medusas, the 3 mud goals and a rock goal.
In stereo at that. All right, speed bump 2. We're in, we're punching, we're nuking twice. Survives the punch, gonna get 2 nukes out, this might finish. Yep, it's finished off with the 2 nukes at 179, 129 respectively. And down we go to the carry 2 floor. So this is gonna be a clear run pretty much all the way to carry 2. Having both of our runners going off of the hard power cycle, which resets the encounter table, you know exactly where the encounters are going to run into. And while it's not the thing you want to see the most, you'd rather have a run like this on definitely the water or the air floor. It is nice to have one floor at least where you can just kind of sit back and go boss to boss.
6 for 408.
And the tempers go off a little late here. We got a white shirt up. Carrie responding in kind of the thief for 190. Nuke goes out unresisted. And the second one finishes off with 124, so carry 2 is down. Marcus making real short work of this Topher.
So, Chadbert, I'm curious. Why not promote and get a couple of Invis 2 and Heal 3 charges on your couple of extra Invis 2 and Heal 3 charges?
Because for the most part, I wasn't taking any more fights, so I wouldn't get charges, really. And the only thing I would have gained really would have been the ability to equip the dragon -2 armor. But I had, I think it was flame minus or flame +4, so it wasn't that big of a deal.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fair enough. You're not going to be taking any fights to get any more levels after promotion, especially since you had taken the fighter up and he was already like 25. It would have been a grind to absolutely get these charges. So Kraken 2 responding with Fire 3 on the first turn. I believe we got our punch out before the fast went off. We got our white shirt going out just in case. Swing for 58 from the thief. We're white shirting, we're tempering. We're punching. 1,250 damage, and bye-bye goes Kraken 2.
Well, and I've said multiple times during the course of the run, I'm bad, so I wouldn't necessarily know these things. So thank you, Chadbert.
Oh, everyone runs at a different area here. So we had a Twilight Party Pack. We got some horses and some riders here. I'm getting away from them. Now it's time for our multi-headed friend, part 2. We're healing up. We're going to go in. We're going to hope the fast goes off first. We're going to actually put the thief up in the sacrificial spot. All right, Swirl comes out. We got the punch going out first, 571. The fast comes out afterwards because what is turn order? We're deciding. And it looks like we're just going to go ahead and throw some more out here. The swing goes out, not much. The punch goes out, 1,100 and I believe 15, and that is the end of Tia 2.
Yep, that'll do it for Tia 2.
Also, on that subject, Chadbert, good on you remembering after you check the shops that, oh no, I skipped the Gaia shop and having to run back and get that rod real quick. We were worried for a half a second, and then you had checked all the other shops in the game and realized, wait a minute, I still haven't seen that item yet.
Yeah, thankfully I track on that, and so I was able to. Hold on just a second.
All right, so the fast goes out. We're hiding the black belt in the last slot. Lit 3 comes out. Gonna drop the party a little bit. Now, remember, Chaos got his dancing shoes on, so we're not getting a lot of hits here. That thief only gets 1 hit out. We're locking. This is a good idea. Fire 3 comes out, and we have a black mage on the floor. We're not locking anything. And we're punching. And 425. The red mage decides to lock because white shirts are for losers. 621, we're going up in the right direction. 69 damage on a single swing. That's actually impressive for a thief, I'm gonna say.
Yeah, that's impressive for a thief with silver.
2 hits for 170, and unfortunately our other caster is on the floor. So, whole days, time to pray. Shouldn't be much of a okay, we have a black belt left. We have quad X. That's not going to work on somebody with 800 hit points. And we're getting through and terminate on the chaos.
And that's a 116.08 or so?
Official racetime.gg of 1:16:04 for Guardian Marcus. Get your GGs out. That was a really fast still.
That was a good time.
That was a nice fast seed. So, what did you think about seeing all that great black magic right at the beginning?
That was very helpful. I was like, this looks like it may be a quick one, and it was. To go back to the thing about the shops, because I stopped for the chaos fight. I checked the two shops and I was like, wait a minute, and I have a tracker that says if I checked it, and I'm like, I forgot to check the shop on the way to the bottle, so I reset out, and I'm like, if this is the rod, then I don't have to check waterfall, I don't have to check sea, I don't have to check sky, and yeah, so I prioritized going back for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, even with tracking, it's a heads up thing to remember. Hey, wait a minute. This is what I haven't checked. This is what I need to go back and do. It's the little things of just not overlooking and fading locations. Marcus ended up leaving Sarda for a little while. Kind of probably cost him just on a little bit of the experience on end of it because it was a long fest quest chain to the cube. But it was still pretty good overall.
And it probably also it definitely cost on the fact that he checked both sky and sea.
But thankfully, thankfully Sky wasn't that hard. It was on Mirage 1.
Well, that's an interesting set of flags too. Welcome, Marcus. GG.
Hello. GG guys. GG Chad.
GG Marcus.
So Marcus, what did you think of the seed?
It wasn't too bad, honestly. Obviously I had a rough time in Marsh Cave, and there was a few things that just didn't go my way today.
Yeah, even with some of the things not going your way, and still finishing in second here, that was still an impressive time. Anything sub 120 for this flag set is honestly a really good time here. And I gotta admit, at least probably some people in chat, and you won my heart, being as brave as you were, not only taking the grind on Sharknado floor in Sea Shrine, but then trying to walk it out through Kraken and pretty much giving everybody in the booth a heart attack.
Yeah, I always seem to do something crazy / stupid like that. So. All in good fun.
Hey, nothing stupid if it works.
That was an impressive bit of survival on the part of that solo black belt, because Kraken 1 hit hard.
Yeah, I was waiting for Kraken to just stop using physical attacks, but all he felt like doing at the time. And yeah, I mean, I had to go for it because I knew I was behind because of that Marsh Cave again.
Yeah, it was unfortunate that you had lost the turn order of those Gurmaduces. One or two of those fights, as we had seen on the other side, would have definitely turned things around. You would have been more of like closer to 15, gearing up for the rest of the seed. But it's one of those things that does happen. So let's flip back all the way to Carrot to party select here. You went with the black belt, the thief, and the two mages. What's your thinking on that? Was anything affected on that at all? Is it just your standard run? The blur things come into play here.
Not the blur things didn't really come into play. I've been really comfortable with that party. I like the thief a lot for the running, and the black belt just had a lot of success with this tournament so far. So I've kind of stuck with it, and I just like to have the mages for the firepower in the early part of the game.
Sounds good. So you had most of your good magic early. You had all your level 3 elemental spells by level 2. You had Quad X. You had Nuke at 3. The mage is definitely paying off. The lack of white magic, however, kind of was a little interesting because you had what, heal 3 and then no other curative or life magic.
That's right.
Yeah,
Thankfully, with a couple of good grind tiles, especially being on the B sides here, weren't really necessary because a high level black belt needs nothing. It just needs preferably a fast to punch things faster.
yeah, and that's the gamble when you're taking a black belt. You just kind of forego the white mage, and if you get lucky with the red mage, great. If not, you can make do with it.
Yeah, and speaking of fast, I got very lucky because I was able to take that Medusa fight for like 5 rounds. I had enough money to purchase fast on the first go through Crescent Lake, so I didn't have to worry about going back.
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely had enough money the first go around. Also, Marcus, you know, I love the gamble of going and getting the ship and then saying, forget it, we're gonna go up to ice anyway, and then getting through there on the first go around, just completely proximity routing it out of the way. You saying that I want to take care of it, whereas Chad decided to go get that floater first. It was I maybe not the most popular play, but I still loved it nonetheless.
Yeah, I knew it was gonna be a bit of a gamble, but like I said, it's a proximity thing, and if the floater's there, then I'm laughing. I have a good. Maybe I start to think that maybe I'm catching up again. But unfortunately, it was. I think of the tail, and that's dud.
Yeah, if the floater or the rod or the oxyale is there, or if the chime or the cube is there, well, we already had the chime. But if the cube is there, then it looks like a genius play.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. When I got the tail out of ice, I was like, oh man. But I decided to go and check the trap tiles, and found the double fighter uh, tile there. This is where I did my grind on.
hmm So going forward, Chad, we talked with you a little bit. You've got Rob Draven coming up. You're sitting at 1-1. It's going to be like you had said. Everybody in the whole bracket here is pretty evenly matched, and we cannot wait to see that next race from you. Flipping over to the other side here, Guardian Marcus. Unfortunately, you fall here to 0-2, but you're absolutely not out of it. You got one race left against the Cheese. How you got that on the schedule yet? How you feeling?
Uh Terrible, honestly. Cheese is a really good player, and um, I'm gonna need a brack on a chaos kind of chance. I feel, but anything can happen, and I just gotta try to stay positive and hope for the best.
Hey, you
Absolutely.
find the right grind tile, you find the good grind tile early, and cheese doesn't. That's it.
That's why
Yeah, I
we
wish
play
I found those.
randomizer.
Absolutely, I wish I found those the eye tile earlier.
Yeah, you both found that at the same time right before diving Topher. It was kind of just one of those really kind of moments.
Yeah, I kept it in the back of my mind in case I did wipe.
Stuart, did you have any other questions for our runners here?
Um, I don't really have anything else.
Uh,
Just to thank both of our runners for letting us stream them and letting us talk over them like we knew what we were talking about.
oh, absolutely. Well, let's get some more final thoughts in here. Chad, any final thoughts going forward?
I'm just glad to have made the play-in race. But I wanted to say GG, Guardian Marcus. That was a good time. And I want to thank the the whole crew, Demon, DM Stewart, Shadowed, and Sunflash Rune for putting on this race. So thank you.
All right, thank you, Chad. Guardian.
Yeah, GG Chad. Yeah, we're unfortunately in a really good pod. So, but it's been a ton of fun still, and hoping that I could pull something out next week. And thanks to Demon and DM Stewart, and also Sunflash for the stream. So thank you very much, guys.
Absolutely. So once again, everybody, thank you very much for tuning in. I've been Demon RHK. I've been joined by DM Stewart here in the booth. Please go give him a follow. Absolutely, as well to Sunflash and Shadowed. for restreaming and tracking. Shout out one of the best trackers we got here. And absolutely, more than anything, give both of our runners, Guardian Marcus, Chadbert, give them both a follow here. Also, thank you to Randomania for letting us host our tournament on their amazing family of channels here. Please stay tuned for later on in the day, as we've got all kind of randomizer action. We've got another randomizer race coming up for you here just in a couple of hours, 5 p.m. Stay tuned. We're going to have you some more spring tournament action. It's a packed day of events, everybody. For DM Stewart and myself, I want to thank you once again, and everybody have a great remainder of your day.